I can't get over it. F tier. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. The F can go away. I don't want to see that gun ever again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another video. Billiam here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we are going to be ranking the Incursion Red River ammo and guns. Now, please keep in mind that this is not 100% based on just the numbers in game, but personal preference does weigh into account with these rankings. Obviously, your rankings may very much differ than mine because you prefer the AK platform, whereas I prefer the M4 platform. So it's completely subjective to the person that is doing the rankings, but I wanted to give my opinions out there in case anybody is wondering. But before we dive into this, I do want to say, one, thank you for watching. If you do enjoy this type of content, please leave a like. And if you find yourself coming back, please think about dropping a sub. I'm wanting to branch out and doing more content like this, something different than just doing my normal gameplay videos. Those will still be happening. Don't get me wrong. I love playing the game. I will always play the game, and you will always get videos for the game. So, but want to branch out, try some different things. So that being said, let's jump into this. I don't want to waste too much time, but I do, however, want to go over the criteria that I'm going to be using to rank the ammo and the guns. For ammo, there are 4 criteria that we're looking at here. First one is damage. How much damage is this round doing? Second is the penetration level. What's the armor rating that it can 100% penetrate through? Number 3 is price per round. Obviously, if you have a high penetration with a cheaper ammo, that's going to rank higher than a very expensive round that doesn't pierce as much. And last but not least is real game experience, what I have felt actually using this round in game. And as for the gun ranking, in-game viability is going to be the number 1 choice for me, or number 1 criteria for me. Number 2 is the ammo that's available, because if it's a really good gun but the ammo sucks, that's going to lower the ranking of that gun. And 3, once again, personal preference, how I feel, do I like using this gun, stuff like that. So like I said, once again, that being said, my rankings will probably very much differ from your rankings. And please let me know what your rankings are below. Please tear my list apart in the comments, or let me know if you agree with what I have here. So, getting into the ammo rankings, the first thing we're going to look at is the shotgun rounds, 12 gauge shotguns. First one is the 12 gauge buckshot here. This has a damage of 46, a chance to wound of 30, the piercing level of 2, and the penetration of 8. It is $300 for 30 rounds, making it $10 per round. I'll be honest with you, I don't like these. They don't hit as hard as what I feel like they should in game. I mean, the numbers don't look bad, but in game they just lack that punch. And I understand it is a buckshot, it is a ball that's basically traveling through that you're expecting to pierce armor, which is going to be a lot harder than an actual, tapered point on a round. So I understand the ballistics behind it, but I just feel like they don't carry enough weight with that hit. So for that reason, I am going to end up putting these in D rank. Like I said, just my personal preference, not the biggest fan of them. The other 12 gauge we have is the 12 gauge slug. These I love. If you have not watched me use what I have deemed the sniper shotty, please go check it out. It's a VR80 with a voodoo scope. It is absolutely atrocious to look at, but my God, is that gun good. This has a damage of 170, which is the highest damage per round out of any round in Incursion. A chance to wound of 5%, a piercing level of 3, and a penetration of 38. The sniper shotty should be all you need to know. If you don't know what that is, go watch one of my videos. It shouldn't be too far back. I will be honest with you, these get an S rank for me. They're just so good. They pierce through just about anything. I mean, the penetration's really high, so even if you do go up against somebody with a level 4 armor, you do still have a high chance of penetration. It's going to do a lot of damage to that armor, and I'll be honest with you, you're going to be able to head tap just about anything with these. These get an S rank for me. Next, we're going to move into the 300 blackouts. We're going to look at the M62s first. These have a damage of 56, a chance to wound of 6, a piercing level of 3, and a penetration of 25. They are $1,200 for 60 rounds, which makes them $20 a round. I love the 300 blackout round in this game. I feel like it does hit pretty well. Honestly, it does. The damage is a little bit lower than the 5.56 SMJ FMJs, with a lot more dollar per round on those. So I can't quite give it too high of a ranking because of that. The piercing level of 3 though is big. I mean, a lot of your common NPCs are going to be wearing level 1, level 2 armor. Some are going to be wearing level 3, but not as many. So having that level 3 piercing, you're going to get that round through 100% of the time. And to me, that's why I end up putting this at a B rank personally, just for that piercing level. If the damage is a little bit higher, which I understand it's 300 blackout and it's not 5.56, which is why that damage is not as high, but that piercing level is really what saves this round. So for me, it gets a B tier. Now the other 300 blackout, which is the ME3, has a damage of 62, a chance to wound of 8, a piercing level of 4, and a penetration of 34. This thing is going through everything and doing quite a bit of damage as it does go through it. Fantastic rounds. The only downside is they are expensive. They are $1,980 for 60 rounds, which brings it to $33 per round. But with the damage that you get, the piercing level that you get, and when you use them in the Honey Badger, the amount of rounds you can throw down range really, really fast, very, very accurately, they're just absolutely you absolutely shred everything in its path. Do keep in mind, these do have a fairly large damage drop off, so the further out your shot, the less damage it's going to do. That is why I can only give it a ranking of A instead of S tier. Next round we're going to look at is the big and bad 338 Lapua, or 338 AP round, as it is an incursion. Damage of 138, chance to wound of 55, piercing level of 4, and penetration of 40. This is a big bad MFer. The price is $1,920 for which brings it to $32 per round. So you're doing that much damage for just $30 a round. The only downside to this round, which should be quite obvious, is it is a sniper round. It's only used in bolt action guns. To me, that really lowers how good this round actually is. And this goes more into the viability of this round, just because it can only be used in bolt action. Now, obviously, you're pretty much going to be getting one-shot kills with this thing, because it's going to pierce through everything, it's going to do massive damage, and the chance to wound, if you hit somebody and they don't go down immediately, they're more than likely going to run off. There's a good chance they're going to drop just from bleeding, because it more than likely is going to cause a bleed over half of the time, given the 55% chance to wound. I can't give it more than a B though, and like I said, it's not down to that it's not a one-shot, but it's just that it's not viable in a lot of situations except for long-range shooting. And don't get me wrong, it's very important on a map like Quarry, but when you get into Bunker, or potentially the new map that they have coming out, it could be not as viable there, just because there is some close quarter combat range. It forces you to bring a second gun, right? So that's why this round only gets a B tier for me. So next round we're going to look at is a pistol round. This is the 45 ACPHS. This has a damage of 78, a chance to wound of 42, which is pretty good. I believe that is the second highest chance to wound in the game. Sorry, I'm looking at my numbers. Yes, that is the second highest chance to wound out of any round out there. Piercing level of 1 and penetration of 12. If there was ever such thing as leg meta in Incursion Red River, this is it. You're not going to be piercing armor. You're not just flat out, you're not with a 1 piercing level and a penetration of 12. You're not going to piercing armor. However, you are going to be destroying legs all day long. So if you go into it knowing that you cannot be aiming chest, that you either have to face or leg or arm, it's good. However, due to its low piercing level and low penetration, I cannot give this round anything higher than a C. Don't get me wrong, I love the Chris Vector, the gun that this is used in. I love it. But this round, this 45 round, kind of sucks. C tier. Now, we get into the rounds that, I'll be honest with you, I don't use AKs very much. So I don't use these 4.5 by 39s as much. But the 7N6 round is your basic AK round in this game. This is going to be the easiest round to get, and also the third cheapest round in the game. It is, let's go over the numbers. Damage is 56, which is pretty good. Chance to wound is 10. Meh. Piercing level of 2, which isn't great, but keep in mind, majority of the enemies you go against are only going to have a vest level 1 or 2. Penetration of 15. So if you do go up against something higher, you're going to take a lot more shots to get through that level 3 or level 4 vest. It is $300 for a stack of 60, which brings it to $5 per round. The damage you get from these, being at 56 for only $5 a round, to me is its biggest saving grace. It is, sorry, talking more than I usually do, having the next sip of drink. It is, like I said, just the round itself, the numbers behind it are fantastic. I personally don't use a lot of AKs, but when I do use them early game, the 7N6 does get the job done. For that reason, to me, it goes B tier. If it was more expensive, it would be D tier. But the fact that it's so cheap, it gets a B for me. Now, the next 5.45 by 39 round is the 7N22. It has a damage of only 48, a piercing level of 3, a chance to wound of 8%, and a penetration of 28. So those numbers look pretty good until you look at the price. The price is $1,560 for 60 rounds, making it $26 per round. This round is not worth it in my opinion. If you are having to run a 5.45 by 39 gun, do not buy these. They are not worth the money. Yes, it has a piercing level of 3, so you are going to be able to get through that level 3 armor a lot easier. However, if you're a halfway decent shot, or you just aim for the legs, the 7N6s are going to do better for cheaper. For that reason, C tier. Now, we get into the ammo type that I use probably the second most, and that is the 5.56 by 45s. And we're looking at the FMJs here. FMJs has a damage of 64, chance to wound of 5, piercing level of only 2, but a penetration of 22. This is comparable, in my opinion, to the 7N6. However, it is $540 for a stack of 60, which makes it $9 per round. Now, that price, if it was the same damage and same damage as the 7N6s, I would have given this a C tier. But because the damage is 64, I am going to give it a B tier. It is very, very easy to find in raids. You do not have to buy it very often because you can normally stack up fairly easily off your scav and ammo boxes that you find in round. And at $9 per round, they're not that bad to buy. So for me, this gives it a B tier. Now the other 5.56 option is the M855 with a damage of only 56, a chance to wound of only 4, but a piercing level of 4 and a penetration of 32. Now, the saving grace for this round, well, let me talk about price. It is $1,260 for 60, which makes it $21 per round, which is $5 per round cheaper than your 7N22, which is your higher end 5.45 by 39. 4 more damage than your higher end 545 by 39 gives you. To me, with the piercing level of 4, like immediate B tier. But because of the price, and honestly, you can find M855s fairly regularly in game and on scavs as well. If you take the time to actually take the mag out of the gun the scav's using, you will find the stacks of M855s that they're using. Take the time to do that if you're in search for them, because in my opinion, it is important to get that pierce level 4, because it's a fairly, I want to say these are level 3 UICS where you can buy them. So it takes some time to be able to buy these. So I highly recommend picking these up in raid every chance you get. And because of the piercing level, and because of the still fairly high damage of 56, these get an A tier for me. Now, next pistol round we're going to look at is the 5.7, the SS197LF, damage of 68, the chance to wound 20%, piercing level of 2, which I believe is the highest piercing level of any. Well, it does tie with the AP63s, not familiar, but a penetration of 17. For a price of $720 for 60 round, which makes it $12 per round, which is less than half of what you're going to pay for AP63s, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. The damage on these is fantastic at 68. I think personally, the 5.7 was designed as a small armor piercing round by design. I think that piercing level should be higher, and they may offer at some point another ammo variant of this that does have a higher piercing level. Obviously, the price is going to be higher, so I'll have to wait and see what the price on that is. As this sits currently, though, because it is a pistol round, and you can use it in a submachine gun and a pistol, which gives you 2 different weapon platforms to use, I think this deserves to go B tier. And it's primarily due to its damage, aka leg meta, that you can pull off with the low piercing level. But with it being a piercing level of 2, you're going to get through tier 1 and tier 2 armor and shred level 3 armor fairly quickly with the high damage output. That's why I think this gets B tier, in my opinion. Now, starting to move into the 7.62 calibers. So the first ones we're going to look at is the 7.62 by 39s. These are the 5.7-N-231s. Damage of 76, chance to wound of 10, a piercing level of only 2, a penetration of 19. In my opinion, this is another leg meta round at $720 for a 60 stack of, which brings it to $12 a round. It's a great ammo choice, to be honest with you. I don't have a problem with this one. I very much enjoy using this round. If I remember correctly, I don't see these in raid very often, but obviously you do see them more than the 7N23s, which is the higher level version of the 7.62 by 39. I think it's just for the damage alone, it's a good round. I did take notes on this. In my notes, I had this as B tier. As I sit here and think about it, and I've been on the fence since I wrote my notes for this. I've been on the, but as I sit here and think about it, I want to change my mind and put it A tier, just for the damage. Because once again, a leg meta type ammo, which is 100% viable in Incursion. If you haven't done it, try it. If you're using SMG or a lower tier ammo, try aiming for the legs. Yes, it's going to take more shots, but it's going to take a lot more shots to try to get through a level 3 or level 4 armor. Yeah, I don't think it's bad, honestly. I like it. I'm going to give it A. I'm going to change my note. I'm going to go against what I have on my notes. I'm actually going to give this an A. So the next round of choice, or that we're not round of choice, the next round we're going to look at is the 7.62 by 39, 7N23. This has a damage of 68, a chance to wound of 8, a piercing level of 3, and a penetration of 35, which is not bad. Piercing level 3 is great. Damage of only 68 though, compared to the 76 you get with the 57N231s. and a lower chance to wound. I don't like these as much, primarily because for a stack of 60, it is almost $2,000 at $1,920 or $32 a round for the price alone, and it only being a tier 3 piercing. And keep in mind, the M855s are tier 4 piercings for cheaper at only $1,260 per round. Now, to be fair, it only has 56 damage, but piercing level of 4 instead of 3 for cheaper. I cannot give this above a C tier. It's primarily for the price. If these were cheaper, I would recommend these for that piercing level, but honestly, for the price, C tier. All right, now we get into probably my favorite caliber of round, and that is 7.62 by 51. We're going to look at the M80s first, which has a damage of a whopping 90, a chance to wound of 5%, a piercing level of 3, and a penetration of 25. These cost $1,320 for a stack of 60 or $22 a round. You do find them quite often in raid, to be fair. You can pick up probably at least 2 stacks of M80 if you take time to loot a lot of containers. You're not going to find them on a lot of bodies, but you will find them in a lot of containers. So I do recommend looking at that when you can. Looking for them if you need them. If you find a gun that you can use them in, find an FAL, something like that, which a lot of the sniper scavs have. They're going to be rocking M80s, so you can get a lot off them. I love this round. This is 100% my early go FAL gun build round, because it will get the job done with the higher damage. Piercing level of 3 will pierce through just about any scav armor. The only problem you're going to have is against bosses, which you normally don't deal with till later, and you normally have some M62s in your stash at that point for when you're starting to go boss hunting. In my opinion, 100% easy A tier. Now the next round is my beloved, my go-to, the M62s. No, it does have a damage of 85 compared to 90, and it only has a 2.5% chance to wound, but it has a piercing level of 4 and a penetration of 36. Guys, this is what I use all the time. If you ever see me run an FAL, especially like late white like it is right now, this is what I'm running. I stack them up the entire wipe until I get to late wipe, to be completely honest with you. I don't really need to go into too much detail with these. Y'all know how much I love these if you've watched any of my videos. They are hard to find, they are expensive to buy, and I think it is a tier 4 item. But still, they are $3,900 for 60, which makes them $65 a round, which is the second most expensive ammo. But you can 1-tap headshot everything. And most of the time, 2-tap chest shot. I 2-tap bosses with this round. S tier, easy S tier. You can try to argue with me all day you want, all you want to in the comments. M62 is the best round of the game. I refuse to be told otherwise. The only round that even comes close is the 12 gauge slug. S tier. Now, the 7.62 by 54 RPS ammo, 90 damage, 20% chance to wound, piercing level of 3, and a penetration of 31. I need to go back and check my notes on this, and I'll put something up on screen if I am wrong on this. But this is, I'm showing $180 per round, and I feel like that's off. I will have to go check that. For 60, which, if that is true, makes it $3 per round. If this is $3 per round and you get a hold of an SVD, yes, I know that they don't have a lot of attachment options, and they do not have a suppressor option as of right now. This next update should bring a lot more attachments for the SVD. For the price, if that is accurate, I'm giving it an S tier. I will, however, put something up on screen if I'm wrong on the price, and I will change my ranking to A tier if the price changes, but as it stands in my notes right now, S tier. I mean, enough said. For the price, for the damage, for the piercing level, SVD is a semi-shotgun, semi-auto DMR that you can use long range or mid-range encounters. Just, I wouldn't be swinging corners with it too much. Bring a pistol. But good God, for that damage and piercing level of 3, S tier. All right, last two are the 9x19s. PSO, 58 damage, 8% chance to wound, piercing level 1, penetration of 10 at $120 for a stack of 60, which makes it $2 a round. And I can tell you from personal experience, and I will not be explaining more besides telling you to go into a run, expect to die with a stack of these in an MP5 or a PP19. You will die. F tier. I do not want to hear any discussion on this. The worst ammo in the game. I will never pick these up. I will never use these. Absolutely atrocious, especially in pistols. Oh my god, if you go in doing a pistol run and you only take PSOs, you will die. I'm sorry. F tier. And last but not least, when it comes to ammo, we are going to be looking at the AP63s. At 58 damage, 2% chance to wound, a piercing level of 2, and a penetration of 23 for $1,680 for 60 rounds, making it $28 a round. That is more expensive than M80s, and this is a tier, I'm 99% sure this is at least a tier 3, if not a tier 4 item from the shop. The only saving grace this thing has is the fact that it is a piercing level of 2 and a penetration of 23. I hate for the price, these are not good. D tier for these. I don't like them. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't think they're that good. So, but this is my ammo list. This is what I recommend. To go through again, just to kind of sum up the video. Your S tiers is your 12 gauge, your slugs, your M62s, and your RPSs. A tier will be your ME3s, your M855s, your 5N7 or 57N231s, and your M80s. Your B tier is your 300 Blackout M62, your 338 Lapuas, your 545x39 7N6s, your FMJ 556 FMJs, and your 57 ammo. For C tier, you have the 45 ACPs, the 545x39 7N22s, and the 762x39 7N23. D tier, the buckshot and the 9x19 AP63s, and F tier is the PSOs. Yeah, overall there is some really good ammo. I mean, honestly, you're good. As you can tell, most of the ammo is B tier or above, because it really is, and it's very viable in this game. You do not have to have the best ammo to go out. Even if you're boss hunting, you can get by. You're gonna have to mag dump them, but you can get by with some of the lower tier ammo. Or like the B tier ammo, because you got to think 300 Blackout, it's got a pierce level of 3. It's going to be a level 4 armor, so you are still going to get some of that penetration through. Because I think it is a percentage of armor. Like if it's a level 2 and you're going up against a level 4, I think you do have to basically roll your chance to get that penetration to go through. So like this would only have a 25% penetration, 25% chance to penetrate. I think on level 5, if it's a 1 armor level above, I think it does go through, but for minimal damage. So B tier and above, you're good. And like I said, there's some very common rounds sitting in B and A tier. So I think they've done a good job ammo balancing that. Obviously, you have your duds, but this is my ammo list. So now let's get into the Incursion Red River Guns tier list. This one I'm probably gonna make a few people mad, just because I know there's people that have different opinions on guns and that kind of thing, and that whatever your favorite gun is in the game. But like I said, this is my opinion. This is what I have seen playing with these guns in game. Just to review what the criteria is again for the guns: number 1 is in-game viability, number 2 is the ammo available, which we just covered, and number 3 is personal preference. Obviously my personal preference. So if you don't like it, get over it. No, I'm joking. Leave a comment down below if you don't like it. So first things we're going to look at, and let me make sure I have my correct notes up here correct. Yes, I do. Is the FN Scar H. It is a DMR. It uses the 7.62 by 51. It is It's made by FN and is high caliber marksman rifle. In my opinion, great DMR. I wish there was more customization options, but you get the same damage as the FAL, just in a DMR form. So you can use this to complete the DMR missions with the same M62 ammo. So this is more than likely my go-to for that, if it's not the SVD, which we'll touch on here shortly. I love this gun. The customization option is pretty good. I believe, no, actually I don't think there are different barrel lengths for the Scar Heavy. You can't change the stock either, and I think you are limited to just 20 round mags, so maybe there's not that much customization with it. Well, yeah, I guess I did say I wish there was more customization options, but you can put a suppressor on this, which is a big deal, especially when you're looking for doing long distance shots. And it does have the availability for like any of your Picatinny, hand guards, things like that. So in my opinion, and to be honest with you, I just love the Scar. I love the way this freaking gun looks. It just looks so good. Well, yeah, I'll just come out and say it. That should have been my fourth criteria, is looks. I do judge a gun by the way it looks. As you can see, durability, all these are gonna be at 100. Ergonomics is 45 and recoil is 40. This is for the base. I'm not gonna go over all of the stats here. You can see them up on screen. In my opinion, the Scar H is an A tier weapon. It's expensive, and it's very hard to find, but if you can get a hold of one, I definitely like it. So for me, Scar gets A tier. Now the other DMR is the SVD, and the only reason this is not getting an S tier or even an A tier is for the simple fact that there is no customization options for this, really. As soon as they add more customization options to the SVD, this will be moving to a straight S tier. The 7.62 by 54 ammo is absolutely phenomenal. It says only a 0.7 MRAD. I think it's better than that personally in game. It's a really, really good gun. I cannot recommend this gun enough, especially if you find one. Throw a scope on it. You're not going to be able to do too much else with it besides throwing a scope on it, but it is worth it. Love this gun. The only reason why I'm giving it a B tier is because of the lack of customization options. B tier. We're going to do the one and only LMG that is in Incursion right now, and that's the RPK 74. I've only used this gun a couple times. However, good God, the recoil on this thing is atrocious, and it's so heavy, and the ergonomics is absolutely terrible. Don't get me wrong, it even only throws down 5.45 by 39s, and you can hold the trigger for quite a long time, and there's a lot of customization options for it as of right now. Maybe with some better customization options, it could move into a higher rank. I don't like it personally. I don't really see it as a very viable option in the game right now. So for that reason, it gets D tier. The only reason it does not get an F is because you do have an option of a 95 round drum mag, and it will spit bullets down range spit so many bullets down range that you can just mow down waves of enemies. Next up, we are going to go ahead and touch on the handgun options that are in here. The FN57. I have an FN pistol. It is not a 5.7. My brother has a 5.7. Love that gun. Love shooting that gun. Is on my list of guns to buy. I love FN in general as a company. But the issue I have with this gun is the same issue I have with the 5.7 ammo, as in I feel like the piercing level is not quite high enough. But this gun is really good. I do not think there is a suppressor option for this gun. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. I'll have to double check that. But it's still a really, really good viable option for pistol, because you do get that level 2 piercing in a pistol, just off the rip with the ammo you find. And the ammo is not the hardest to find for the 5.7 stuff. And once again, you can have one ammo type for a pistol and a SMG, which doesn't make the most sense in my opinion. It'd be better if if it was like a rifle and a pistol to handle mid to long and short encounters. But it does give you the option of 2 different platforms in 1 caliber, which means you could carry just the same ammo for 2 different guns in your inventory for a quick swap if you need it. But for me, it gets a B tier, primarily because I love FN and I do love the 5.7 round. So B tier. The next handgun, everybody knows Glock. Everybody knows what a Glock 19 is. They are the workhorse of the pistol world, in my opinion. Personally, I will never own a Glock. I don't like the way they shoot, but they are a very well-built gun by a very well-known company that has a long history of making really, really good guns. However, it is 9x19 and not 45. If this was a 45 caliber Glock, obviously I know you can't get the Glock 19 in 45, but if it was a 45 caliber Glock instead of the 9mm caliber Glock, I would probably rank this higher. However, the issue I have with this is the same issue I have with the 9mm. If you're not running AP63s, which really aren't even still that good, that's not worth running. C tier, in my opinion. You do get a suppressor on it, so that does help. That saves it from being D tier. P320. Don't drop this gun. Joke for those of you in the know. But P320, honestly, the Glock is better in my opinion. I like the Glock in game is better in my opinion than the P320. I like it better. The sights are better. I don't really have much more else to say to it than that. I mean, once again, it's a 9mm gun, which isn't that great. I'm gonna end up having put this one in D tier just because I don't think there's as many customization options for the P320 as what there is in the Glock end game right now. That could change. As of right now, in my opinion, this has to go to D tier. The very last handgun we have is the QSZ92. I've never used this gun in game. I do not know how it works. It is a 9mm pistol. It is the Chinese 9mm pistol. I've never used it, so I guess let's add another tier here for unknown, right? So let's throw this in unknown because I've never used it before and have no idea how good it is. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Okay, getting into the very, very long list of ARs or rifles in this game. Shouldn't say AR, rifles in this game. Starting off with the AK-12, is the first generation of the new AK-12 standard issue rifle. It is a 5.45 5.45 by 39 caliber, which we saw before is not the best caliber you can get, but early game they're really good. I don't really have too much negative to say on this, really. There's a lot of customization options. It does fire pretty well. The recoil's not bad on them. Ergonomics is pretty good until you start adding a whole lot of attachments too. These do come with the Picatinny rail already on the top for you to use some red dots and stuff like that, so you're not limited to the ones that have to screw onto the sides. For especially early game, this is a super viable weapon because you can find a lot of ammo for it pretty easily. I give this A tier, to be honest with you. I do. I give it A tier. Next is the AK-74M. This is the modernized polymer version of the AK rifle, 5.45 by 39. This is, your basic when you think of AK, this is what you think of, right? AK-47, AK-74. The biggest downside to me is until you buy attachments to buy gun parts to put attachments onto, you're not putting attachments on this gun, which really hampers your recoil and your ergonomics. But it is still AK. It is still good. The ammo for it's not bad. You're leaving a lot on the table without having to have the you're leaving a lot on the table without having a lot of the attachments available relatively quickly like you do with the AK-12. For that reason, I'm gonna give it a B tier. I'm gonna go C tier. Actually, I'm gonna give it a C tier. Just the customization. It takes a lot more to do the customizations on it. Yeah, correct. Like I said, in the comments, tear me apart with whatever you think. That is. Sorry, I want to try to find the. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna go down the list of what we have here. AK-101 is the AK-74M just in 5.56, which is great because the 5.56 ammo is not bad, but it's still just another AK, which I believe I gave that one C tier. So in my opinion, this one kind of has to get C tier as well. Don't be wrong, the 5.56 ammo is a little bit better, but it is more expensive and harder to find. I just don't see the point, really. I know it's the export version, but I prefer the other one. I feel like the ammo is easier to find and it's cheaper for the AK-12 or the AK-74M. AK-102, it is the AK-101 but with a shorter barrel. Not much else to say to that except for C tier as well, if I'm being completely honest with you. AK-103 is where things start to get a little interesting, as it does use in the 7.62x39 ammo, which is a higher caliber ammo. With it having the higher caliber ammo, I personally, it feels like it makes this gun a better gun, because once you do buy the things to add on the attachments to this gun, it can be really, really, really good. I really like the 103. I think out of all the AK lineups in the game, the 103 is probably my favorite besides the AK-12. And for that reason, I give it an A tier. I do think the AK-103 is A tier. However, the AK-104, with it being the bigger caliber, shorter barrel, depending on where you're going, I think the longer barrel version is better. So in my opinion, the 103 is better than the 104. So if we gave the 103 an A and the 104 is not as good, in terms, this kind of has to be a B tier. Just my 2 cents. AK-105 is basically the short barrel AK-74 and just chambered in 5.56. Honestly, same thing I've said before. Shorter barrel means less or more recoil. Yeah, you generally get a little bit better ergonomics, and it is in 5.56, which the ammo is more expensive. I give this a C tier, to be honest with you. I just don't think it's worth it. Get a AK-103 or even a 104 if you're wanting a shorter barrel. The 105 is not worth it, in my opinion. C tier. AK-74, which is basically an AK-74 with a folding stock. Really your basic AK. Once again, your basic AK, kind of the same with everything else. To be honest with you, just the fact that the stock on this thing sucks. And I know you can change it out, but I'm kind of going a little bit off base weapons here and the availability to upgrade, because the base, in my opinion, is worse than like an AK-74M. I don't like it as much, and in my opinion, this gets a D tier. AK-74U, however, I really, really like using this gun. Ergonomics is really good. Recoil, even though it is the shorter barrel with the worst stock, is actually really, really good close quarters. Pushing into building, it is a 100% viable second weapon. If you're using something like an SVD and you want something for those close range encounters, a 74U is actually a really good gun to have. Like I said, ergonomics is good, so if you're a little low on your arm stam from holding up your sniper rifle, switching to this, you will still have more hold up aimed ADS time than what you would for something different. With that in mind, I like it, and you do shoot the 5.45x39 round. Once again, kind of a leg meta round. I like it personally. 74U, in my opinion, is a B tier gun. I know my rankings don't make sense. Leave me alone. They're my rankings, not yours. Next on the list is the AUG A3. Get an M4. Why are you using this? I love the gun. I do. I love the way the AUG looks. But get an M4. C tier. Next weapon. Guys, I shouldn't need to say anything more besides that it's a foul. This is a god tier gun in this game with god tier ammo available. If this is not your meta weapon, you are playing the game wrong. Recoil is fantastic. Ergo sucks, but you don't need a lot of ergo when you pull it up, pull the trigger once, and put it right back down. It's really that damn good. Short barrel, the shortest barrel you can get with a voodoo. Maximize your stock and your hand grip for ergonomics. With a suppressor is literally the best thing you can do for this gun. God tier gun, S tier gun, stands above all else. Okay, next is the Scar L, which is the 5.56 version of the Scar. Runs into the same issues that you kind of have with the other Scar. However, 5.56 is a lot easier to find than what the other rounds are for the other one, the other Scar, which is the 7.62x51. And I'll be completely honest with you. I've shot one of these in real life. It is actually such a good shooting weapon. I love shooting this thing. And for that reason alone, it gets an A tier, and I don't want to hear anything else about it. Leave me alone. Moving on to the next one, we get into the Honey Badger. I want one of these so bad. Like, I want a Honey Badger in my gun safe so freaking bad. You don't even understand. And this is also the very first 300 blackout gun in the game. It's really good. It does put a lot of fire, a lot of ammo downrange really fast. I disagree with the effective distance on here. 300 blackout effective range drops off significantly past 200. Oh, this is in meters. I was thinking in yards. I don't know that conversion. Leave me alone. I'm American. I love the Honey Badger. I've refused to hear anybody say negative things about it. Leave me alone. S tier. The Colt M4A1. I mean, where would we be in terms of American-made rifles without the M4A1? It is the granddaddy of it. Any AR platform gun that's in existence right now, in my opinion, owes its life to this gun. But in this version that you're seeing right here, not that good in game. The rounds are pretty good. Don't be wrong, it's not bad. The ergo of 58, recoil of 42 is a little high. To be honest with you, the iron sights suck on this thing. That's why I kind of have to give it a B tier if I'm being completely honest with you. Anyways, moving on. The MCX Rattler. This gun, however, this is the smaller version of the Virtuous, which we will look at here in a second. This, if you'll notice, the caliber is 5.56x45. However, it is listed as 300 blackout. I think it's because they put this gun in the game before they actually came out with the 300 blackout ammo in game, so they just gave it a 5.56 caliber. Now that 300 blackout is out in the game, this did come out mid wipe, so I'm expecting this to be updated in the new version. If it's not, I'm gonna be a little upset. This and the Virtuous should be running 300 blackout, which would be great to have multiple guns to be able to run 300 blackout with. But the M6 Rattler is absolutely phenomenal. I love this gun. It's very compact, very easy to use in the scenario of like bunker. This is another option to where if you're using, like, let's say a Scar Heavy or some type of DMR or sniper rifle, to have something real quick to switch to with fairly good ergonomics, to be able to deal with those close range encounters. This is a really, really good gun for that. I love it. MCX Rattler is fantastic. It gets a B tier for me. The only reason it does not get higher is the recoil is pretty high and the ergo is not as good, but it is a really, really good viable option. I do like this gun. B tier. Next one would be the MCX Virtuous, which is the slightly longer barrel of this. Ergonomics a little lower, recoil is a little bit better. Fire rate's still pretty much the same because it's pretty much the same gun, just slightly longer barrel. Once again, it's chambered in 5.56 in game. It should be 300 blackout. And if you can find one of these early game, it's a really, really good 5.56 caliber weapon that you can put attachments on it right away. You can put a red dot on it. You can put a hand guard on it. Not a hand guard, a hand grip on it. Put a different stock on it. So it is super viable with that. I do really hope they introduce collapsing stocks in this update as well. I don't know if it'll be in this one. I hope it is. One, to save on inventory space, and two, for backpack space, picking up weapons and stuff like that. So I do hope they include that in. If they do, that will just increase the points towards the MCXs, in my opinion. But with it being the way it is, if you can find one of these early games, God tier. However, late game, not as viable in my opinion. It's pretty much the same as, your regular AK or AR or M4, sorry, but just with the ability to add attachments to right away. So in my opinion, that's what makes it B tier also. QBZ. I hate this gun. I hate shooting this gun. I hate that they added it to the game. I never want to see any of these again. Get out of my face. It's an F tier. Moving on, we are getting in, I think it's maybe the last rifle on here, and this is the STV 380. I'd never used this gun before until I did a 0 to hero run with a very, very base pistol and picked it up in bunker. Got a flashlight on it and stuff like that. I really liked it. The recoil's not great, the ergonomics isn't great, but the fact that it is the Vietnam AK essentially, and it is 7.62 by 39 and not 5.45, in my opinion, actually makes it not a pretty decent gun, especially to start off with. You can pick these up off of scavs fairly regularly. With it being in 7.62 by 39 makes it a pretty decent early game pickup. It does give you the ability to put a red dot on it right away. With the Picatinny on the top rail, I do recommend this, and I do actually really like this gun. And once again, with the setting of this game, it fits. This is just like a really good set piece to kind of help build that immersion and that world building. So I really like it. I do think it has a place in this game, even among all the other AKs that are in here. In my opinion, it gets a B tier. It does kick like a damn mule though. Let's see, shotguns. Benelli M2. Shot one, owned one. I actually really like it. Great gun. However, in this game, the rate of fire is pretty slow. C tier. I'll hear no further questions. The VR80 can be turned into a sniper rifle, a semi-auto sniper rifle. I love this gun so much. This is a shotgun built on an AR platform, and the way it works is just awesome. I love it. I truly do. VR80 with this turning into the sniper shotty is just fantastic. I love it. S tier. Let's see, a few more here to go. SMGs, the P90. I love the P90. I love the way it looks. It's a very unique gun. In game, it's not bad. The 5.7 ammo, once again, kind of leaves something to be desired. The fire rate at 900 is fantastic. The recoil is actually relatively manageable with this gun. It says 41.5. I feel like some of those numbers need to be adjusted on the display because I feel like it's actually better. So like I said, my biggest issue with this gun is the ammo itself, but I really, really like the P90, and it gives you the ability to put a red dot up top. It already has a front grip attached to it. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of customization you do. I believe you can put a suppressor on this as well, and a longer barrel, and an extension on it to make it longer and bigger and kind of turn it into a little bit more of a longer mid to long range gun with the 5.7. I don't recommend doing that as much with this fire rate. You start putting the bigger scopes on it, and it does get real kicky. But with a red dot on it, it's really, really good. I like it. You notice there's a trend here, B tier, which, you know, pretty normal distribution curve. Next one, the MP5. They're okay with modifications. The base with no stock, no foregrip. This gun's just all over the place. Get it out of my face, D tier. The only thing that's worse is the MP5K, and the only reason it's worse is that hand grip is atrocious and doesn't even really do that much, because if we look at the regular MP5, it has a recoil of 63. If we look at this, as recoil of 60. Oh my, you took away 60 recoil with the hand grip. Get out of my face, you're worse. I do not want to ever pick you up. F tier. And then last but not least is, or not last, but for the SMGs, I believe this is the last. No, we have one more. The MP5 ST actually isn't bad. Put a stock on it early game and just know that you're gonna leg meta. It gives you the suppression built into it, right? So you don't have to worry about having to buy a suppressor if you want to try to do more stealthy stuff in like an early game bunker. I actually don't mind the ST. However, because it is still 9mm, I can't give it that high of a rating. It gets a C tier for me. The PP19. Recoil is fantastic. Ergonomics is good. It comes with a Picatinny up front. Like I said, the recoil is not bad. The only downside to this gun is the freaking 9x19. If they include a better 9x19 round, I will 100% update my rating for this. I will pick this over an MP5 any day. However, I still can only, no, actually screw it. In my notes, I had C tier. I'm giving this a B tier. I love the PP19. It's just the ammo. The recoil is fantastic. The ability to put a red dot on it right away is phenomenal, especially early game. And be able to buy the cheap 9mm early game. If you're struggling money-wise early game, find one of these, use it, leg meta, and go about your day. Try to avoid long-range encounters as much as possible, because you're not going to be able to do anything there. B tier. Yes, I'm updating my notes as we go too. Because as I add in more guns, I want to be able to reference my other notes as well. So that's why I'm keeping up with the notes as I kind of think things over and change things. The Vector 45. I love this gun. I love the Vector. I just wish there was more larger magazines for it, because at 950 RPM, this thing just throws lead downrange. The only bad thing about it is you're mag dumping every enemy, so make sure you have plenty of mags and plenty of ammo, because it does take a lot to kill. But I believe you can put a grip on it right away. Yeah, you can put a grip on it right away. It's got Picatinny in front, Picatinny up top right away. Ammo's, I don't think it's the easiest to find early games. I'm not going to say it's 100% early game viable. It is pretty good mid game and late game if you want something to switch to, if you're sniping or DMRing or something like that for close quarter. Just know you are going to be mag dumping this thing, so make sure to bring plenty of extra mags. However, I love it. B tier. Okay, last three are sniper rifles. The M700 is shooting 338 Lapuas, bolt action. It is really, honestly, it is your budget sniper rifle in this game. You don't need to do anything to it, but just put a long range scope on top, buy some 338s, buy an extra mag. I mean, 338s are so strong. This really helps complete those early game sniper tasks, because this isn't that expensive with only $5,000. I don't remember what level you have to be to get this gun. I think it's a level 2, but you can find them fairly regularly off the sniper scavs in the warehouse in Quarry. So go check out there if you need to complete a sniper mission. So I really like the M700. To me, it gets an A tier. So we're gonna go a little bit out of order here, because I want to save the SKS. So we're gonna look at the SRS A2. It's a bullpup sniper rifle, which I love. I don't know why. I love bullpup rifles in general. I really want one. 338 Lapua, pretty much the same as the other one, except if you can find one of these early game, and it's not impossible to do, you can put a front grip on it, you can put a suppressor on it, you can put a scope on it, and this thing will be the same. What you can do early game, if you find the stuff for it, is the exact same sniper rifle that you will run late game. Larger mag capacity, worse ergonomics, better recoil though. I think, let me check the accuracy, because accuracy is 0.5 MRAD on that, and it is 0.2. Okay, maybe the M700 is better. I guess this does give you more. I love it though. I love the SRS-A2. I love the way it looks. It's such a funky looking gun. I have it ranked as S tier in my notes just because I love the way it looks, and I'm going to keep it that way, and you can leave me alone. I don't care. It's worse than the M700, but I'll pick it over the M700 any day. And last but not least, it is the freaking SKS. I hate this gun in this game. I love the SKS in most games. In this game, I hate it. It shoots 7.62 by 39, which for a sniper rifle is not that good of a round. They even say in the description that it's a marksman rifle, which should be a DMR, not a sniper rifle. Ergonomics aren't great. Recoil is atrocious. Yes, I know you can do a lot with it with the polymer stock and the other mags. There's a lot of customization options for those things. However, I don't care. I feel like anytime I bring an SKS into a raid, I freaking die. F off if you tell me it's a skill issue. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do not do well with this gun. Like I said, really just don't like it. The only thing that's going to keep it from being F tier, and I am still on the fence, and I may click that F tier button, but the only thing keeping it off of F tier is the fact that it is a semi-auto gun that you can complete sniper rifle missions for, or tasks for. And I really don't like that you can do that, because it should not be that way. I'm not saying there's no such thing as a semi-auto sniper rifle. This, however, is not one of them. I can't get over it. F tier. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. The SKS can go away. I don't want to see that gun ever again. So, just to review, in the S tier category, we have the FAL, we have the Honey Badger, we have the VR80, and we have the SRS-A2. In A tier, we have the Scar Heavy, the AK-12, the AK-103, the Scar Light, and the M700. The B tier is the SVD, the 5.7 pistol, AK-104, a 74U, M4A1, the Rattler, the Virtuous, the STV 380, the P90, the PP19, and the Vector 45. C tier is the Glock 19, the 74M, the 101, the 102, the 105, the AUG A3, the Benelli M2, and the MP5 SD. D tier is the RPK 74, the Sig Sauer P320, the AKS 74, the MP5, and F tier, we have the QBZ, go away, the MP5K, leave me alone, and the SKS, God, I hate this gun in this game. And then unknown, we have the QSZ, just because I haven't ever used it before. That may be a video we do in the future, as we do a pistol run with the QSZ, see how it goes. I will expect to die. So, let me know what you think about this down below. Like I said, early game, I really look for these B tier weapons early game, if I can. The SVD makes life so much easier with a 74U. This combination right here is a super viable early game option. because you don't need a lot of attachments on either one of them for them to be pretty good. So I do recommend checking those out early game, especially early wipe we have coming up. I don't know how much is going to be changing with the existing guns. I do know we're going to be getting some new guns. I will probably try to kind of keep this list up and going. I'll probably try to release a video every wipe updating the ammo tier list and the gun tier list, and just add on to the ranks that we've had before. So I guess kind of look at this as kind of a series that I may be starting every wipe at least once to review. Probably wait till mid to late wipe to actually do that though, just so I get a chance to get plenty of hands-on time with the guns if they have changed. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. This video was actually way longer than I thought it would be. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. If you find yourself coming back or want to see more content like this on Incursion or whatever, and potentially other games in the future, please consider giving my channel a sub. We have got 162 subscribers as of 11:47 p.m. on January 18th. Thank you so much to the 162 of you who have subscribed. Our next big goal is 500 subs. I'd love to be able to hit that by the end of 2026. I don't know if that's possible, but we will see. I'm really hoping it will be. So if you don't mind, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help me out. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and going through this with me. I look forward to doing more content like this in the future. And as always, have a good rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.